morning, everyone. Man, I'm so excited to be here on the Living the Amazing Life podcast with you today. I am so excited for you. It's a brand new week, as we always say when we start our podcast. This is a brand new week, and I'm so excited to be a part of your week. And I pray that I'll say something today that would add value to your week, that you could take and maybe it's a nugget I may drop, or something that may motivate you, encourage you to continue to move forward in what you are, you believe that you're called to do or passionate to do. And so me as the coach, Tim Harrell, and motivational leadership expert and a business accelerator, my goal is just to come along beside you to assist you in the things that you desire to do in your life. And so what I need you to do this morning is to see the value in you. And you are valuable. You are valuable, but you have to see the value in you. And that's why I'm here, to help bring that value out of you, to help you see the value in yourself. So today, of course, is May 20th, man. It's a beautiful day. Amen. And of course, I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Weekend was kind of dreary, rainy, kind of cold, but I pray you enjoyed it. Anyway, I enjoyed mine. We just had a great weekend and a men's event, as well as we had church on Sunday. And we're really excited about just being in the house of God, sharing with God's people. It just brings joy to my heart. And so I pray that you had a great weekend in spite of the weather, and I hope you had a great time at church. And so we're going to get into our thing this morning, but I just want you to just think about what your week is going to look like this week. Maybe you have already planned, laid out some goals, and prioritize your week. Just pray and just kind of look at your week and what does that look like? How productive will you be this week? And so you definitely want to look at that. And so I want you to grab your coffee, grab your breakfast juice. I didn't bring any coffee or juice with me today, but I want you to go ahead and grab yours and just get comfortable and relax, and let's just engage in a conversation today, just to inspire you and encourage you to move forward in what you are passionate about this week. And so I want you to again subscribe to the podcast if you have not already. Make sure you send out some links to your friends and family, and encourage them to subscribe to this YouTube channel, to this podcast, and make sure they hit the notification bell. Because I believe that, because I believe in what God has placed in me, and I believe in myself, that I have so much to offer to people, and I can help people in so many different ways. So, make sure you do that. Make sure you send it out and let people know to subscribe. But I want you to take a few minutes, and just hit me in my mind right now. I want you to take a few minutes, and I want you to make this moment about you. I want you to take a few minutes and say, I want to make this moment about me. It's all about me right now. Because I need to get value in my life. I need to have some value. And I know I kind of started talking a little bit about this when we started the podcast today, but I really want I feel a sense that we need to just park here for a few minutes, because you may be a part of this podcast today, and you may be watching this, and you just feel devalued. Maybe someone said something to you this weekend, or maybe you got in an argument with your spouse, or maybe something happened on your job, or maybe something happened at church, and you just feel so devalued. I'm here to encourage you today that you are the person that determines whether you value or not your circumstance, not your situation, not other people, not those that are closest to you. You determine how valuable you are. And you have to remind yourself on occasions, or as often as you need to say to yourself, I am valuable. Number one, I'm valuable because I'm made in an image and likeness of God. And if God would breathe into my nostrils the breath of life, I'm valuable. I may not have all the money I desire in the bank. I may not have, all the degrees or education that I desire. I may not have all the friends or all the connections, or I may not be a part of a great network, but I'm valuable. I'm valuable. And you have to say that to yourself. I'm valuable, regardless what it looks like or even what you say. I'm valuable. And you have to understand that, because you cannot add value to people until you become valuable. And if you feel as though you're not valuable, then you won't be able to add value. And I just wanted to help someone in that moment, because I felt that. I felt that. I don't know if you felt that, but I felt that. And so, again, guys, thank you for joining the podcast today. And, as always, we deal with personal growth. We deal with business. We deal with the leadership. And these are the things that we focus on this podcast. So here's my checkup question, okay? Every podcast, we have a checkup question. So here's I got actually 2 checkup questions for you today. Who's stopping you? I want to look directly into that lens, and I want you to look me in my eyes when I ask you this. Come on, look at me. Come on, look at me. Who's stopping you? Who's in your way? And if you want to know who it is, look into the mirror. Because the only person, listen to me, the only person that can stop you is you. You're the reason. Nobody else. I hate to break the news to you. You're the reason. You're the reason why you're not where you need to be. You're the reason. And I know, I understand we do have certain situations and circumstances that comes up. Yeah, I understand that. But at the end of the day, ultimately, it's you. It's you. And so you got to understand the value and the worth that you have. You got to understand that you're more than what is looking back at you in the mirror. You're more than that. And so you can't allow you to stop you. Because sometimes, even when we listen to external voices, they can influence us to make a decision, but we have to make the decision. They don't make the decision. The external voice does not make the decision. You still make the decision. And sometimes, we blame other people, or we blame our upbringings, or we blame our environment, or we blame our families. Why? Why do we do that? The reason why we do that, because we don't know our worth. As a person who pursuing dreams, and whether you're pursuing a business, or you're going after a dream or a passion that you may have, in order for that passion or dream or business or whatever the case may be, in order for it to come into fruition, you have to know your worth. Because you're really going to be the one that make it happen. Now, you may have people who help you along the way. You may have people who assist you along the way. You may have people you can mimic from or learn from, but ultimately you have to make it happen. And in order for you to make it happen, you have to know your worth. You have to know that you're worthy of what's about to happen in your life. You have to know that. You have to know that. And if you don't know that, then you would spend years of talking about it. Have you ever talked to people who talk a good game? They can talk a good game, but they never produce. They talk a good game, but they never follow through with the plan. See, you don't want to be a person who just talk a good game. See, Years ago, I got so sick and tired of Tim Harrell talking a good game. When I learned that God created me to be a producer, when he told me when I read that in scripture, when he told me, he said, be fruitful and multiply. In essence, it's saying that I'm a producer, that I can produce, And I need to just figure out what I was called to produce. Yes, and that's a journey that you have to take to figure out what you're called to produce. And it's a part of finding out who you are, why you were created. And when I found out that I was a producer, I began to begin a quest on finding out who I was. When all hell broke loose in our family, in our ministry, business, man, I found myself in a parking lot sweeping up trash. We were the type of people that were advertising on television and in movie theaters, and man, we were doing it big. And so when we started the business, because we were full time in the ministry, and that wasn't working like we wanted to, and we had some crazy stuff that happened with some leadership there. And I can remember out there in the parking lot, and I would see bishops and pastors that I preached at their church, and I'm out there sweeping up trash. I'd be hiding behind cars, y'all. I'd be like, oh, that's Bishop such and such. But the Lord dealt with me in that parking lot. Oh my God, he dealt with me in that parking lot. And I knew even in the parking lot, y'all, I was great. I knew in the parking lot that I was great, but God had to script something out of me to ensure that I get where he wants me to be. He said, Tim, there's a commonality between your strength and your weakness. Your strength is pride because you do everything in excellence. But your weakness is that you can do it better than everybody else. He said, I'm okay with you having it, but you have to bring it together because there's a commonality between your weakness and your strength, right? And when I learned that lesson, man, I'm like, oh my God, I can still do things in the spirit of excellence. But in the midst of that, I had to be content where I was. See, I wasn't content in that parking lot. But God said, you can be content, but don't be content without expectation. So you gotta have contentment with expectations. Why I was created, why I was on this earth. I wanted to know where I was going. I wanted to know what I was supposed to do, right? So I began to answer these questions. And once I began to get answers to these questions, I began to understand that I'm valuable. I began to understand that I'm a gift to the earth. That I begin to understand that there's people that need what I have. I also understood that they want what I have. And I began to understand my worth. You got to know your worth. You have to know the value that you have. And if you can understand that and wrap your mind around that, and I know it can be tough, guys. I know, based on some of the things we've been through, based on some of the things people have said to us. Some of us are low, our self-esteem is so low. My God. And that's why I tell you every week, you need to join this podcast, because my goal is to raise your self-esteem, to let you know that you have worth. I can learn something from you. You can learn something from me. You can add value to me. I can add value to you. So you got to know, and you got to get away from people who will strip you of your worth. You gotta get away from people who won't see the value in you, and they look at you in such a way where it devalues you. You need to get away. You get away from them folk. Get away from them. You know, and I know that we're not created to be isolated or to be alone, but sometime you have to steal away and you have to just focus on you. You have to remove all the distractions and focus on you. That is so important that you focus on you. And because if you don't, you will never get to the place that you know your worth. I'm just here to help you today, because in this week that you're starting on May the 20th, you starting this week on this Monday morning. And as you go into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you and I meet back here again on next Monday, you have to navigate through this week, right? And you got to, whatever your schedule is, whether your job, church, business, family, school, whatever the case may be, you got to navigate through all of that. And navigating through all of that could be such a tremendous toll upon you. It can really weigh you down. But if you have goals and you have aspirations in life, and if you understand who you are and the value you carry, then you will navigate through this week understanding that even though I'm going through this week, and even though this week is taking a toll on me, I understand that as I go through this week, that all this that's happening to me this week is just going to take me to another place of value, another place of destiny, another place of expectation, another place of contentment. Yes. Because I'm navigating through this week with an understanding of the value I carry. And so I have to be very careful who I come contact with. I got to be very careful who I engage myself with. I got to be very careful. I got to be very careful what I entertain, but because the cargo that I'm carrying is valuable. So I got to navigate through this week, and I got to be very conscious, and I got to be very intentional as I navigate. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I pray it's helping you. I pray that it's helping you, man. And so that's why I want to give you a couple things, or 3 things to help you this week. Maybe some nuggets for you to meditate on or chew on this week as you navigate through the week. Here's the first one. When you realize your true value, you'll stop offering discounts to people. Ooh. Who are you offering discounts to? Who are you lowering your standards for? When you know you're valuable, you're less tolerant. You're not going to tolerate stuff, anything, junk that come in your life. If you like me, I can't tolerate foolishness. Man, I really don't have time for foolishness. And I know we all have some type of foolishness in our lives, and your foolishness may not be the same type of my foolishness that I have to deal with, but I just don't have time for foolishness. I'm a very serious person when it comes to going after what I want to go after, what I desire to have. So I don't have time to deal with people who are still trying to figure it out. I don't have time for that. And I can't lower my standards for you. Here's number 2. Don't be too eager for an opportunity that you accept anything offered to you. Ooh, that's good. That is so good. That I don't settle for anything. I just don't take anything. Right? Yeah, I remember back in the day. Yeah, I did. I was settled for. Because I wanted to be accepted, that I was settled for anything. I wanted to be a part of the in crowd or the who's of who, or however that saying is. I wanted to be a part of that crowd. So I would accept anything offered to me so I could be a part. No. When I start seeing the value in me and that I had worth as a person, that I had so much to offer to people, that I don't accept anything and everything. And you don't do it either. Here's our last one I want to leave you with. And these things are going to help you because these are for this week. These are nuggets for this week to help you navigate through the week, because I believe you're going to have opportunities where somebody's going to offer something to you that it's not going to be good for you. And I want you to remember what Coach Tim said to you. Here's our last one. Never let others manipulate you into making regrettable decisions. Don't let people talk you into something that you're going to regret later. Okay? Because what you want to do is minimize your regrets. Now, we can't live without regrets. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say that I have no regrets, but I'd be lying. I want to minimize the regrets. So don't allow people to manipulate you into making regrettable decisions, something that you're going to regret. So these are some nuggets I wanted to give to you today. You know, our podcast is about 20 minutes. I don't want to take a lot of your time, but I think that it's a rich podcast that could really give you something to really chew on and to digest, so that as you navigate through your week this week, you can make some important decisions. You can uphold your standards as you navigate through this week, and you won't allow anybody to devalue you as you navigate throughout your week this week. So remember those things, because you are a valuable person. You are a person of worth. And I want you to say that. Matter of fact, I want you to write that down. I am a person of worth. And so when I run into some type of situation, when somebody try to devalue me, just say to yourself, even if you're standing before your boss and they try to devalue your coworker, your spouse, your church member, your children, you know what I mean, your siblings, when they try to devalue, say, I am a person of worth, and I'm not buying what you're selling. All right. I want you to do that as you navigate through your week. And matter of fact, I look forward to picking this up back on next week, just to see how you've done, see how you've navigated, just kind of talk about some results I believe that you would have got if you did that. And so we'll do that on next week. And so again, guys, if you need a coach, I'm offering a free 60-minute coaching session. You can just scan the QR code, hit the link in the post, and you can get a free coaching session with yours truly, Coach Tim Harrell, your motivational leadership expert, as well as your business accelerator. And I specialize in personal growth. So if you are looking to take your business, your leadership, or your personal growth to the next level, you need to contact me. You need to get in touch with me. You need to hit that link and schedule your free coaching session with me. You hear me? Okay. I want you to do that. And you can contact me or hook up with me on all social media outlets. Go on all social media outlets, type in Tim Harrell Sr. and connect with me. Send me a friend request. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. And I would love to connect with you. And make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and share it with everybody you know. All right. And so it's been good being with you today. I love you guys to life. I pray that you will add value to someone else's life this week. And as always, you know what time it is? It's time for you to live your amazing life. This is Coach Tim Harrell. I'll see you next time.